Imagine this. Your parents are standing in front of you, faces twisted with rage, and they say, "The greatest gift you could give your sister is to disappear from this family permanently." That's what my mom and dad told me. The night before my sister's wedding, they didn't just break my heart. They erased me from their perfect family picture. What they didn't know? I was about to give them exactly what they asked for, and make them regret ever underestimating me. If you've ever been treated like you didn't matter, or wished you could serve justice to someone who wronged you, hit that like button and subscribe. Because today, you're about to hear one of the most deeply satisfying stories of revenge you'll ever come across. Growing up, our house looked picture perfect. A white 2-story home with a wraparound porch in Woodhaven, Kansas. The kind of house neighbors admired and waved at, assuming everything inside was just as warm and welcoming. But behind those pristine walls, there was a battlefield where love was currency, and I was always broke. My parents, Patricia and Michael Foster, ran a respected accounting firm in town. They were pillars of the community, always shaking hands, hosting charity events, and pretending like they had the perfect family. And my sister Jessica? She was the golden child. 4 years older, effortlessly brilliant, bringing home perfect grades and sports trophies. Patricia would beam at her across the dinner table and say, "Your sister's a natural leader. She's going places." Meanwhile, I, Megan, was there. The afterthought. No matter what I did, it was never good enough. When I won an art contest at 8 years old, my mom glanced at the certificate and muttered, "Cute hobby. But your sister got first in the math Olympics. That's real talent." Those words stuck. Every attempt I made to shine felt like screaming into a void no one wanted to hear. As the years passed, the favoritism wasn't just clear, it was brutal. If Jessica and I argued, my mom always took her side. My dad would pat my shoulder afterward and whisper, "Let it go, kiddo. Family harmony matters." Translation: keep quiet and take it. By high school, I stopped trying. I faded into the background, invisible in my own home. Fast forward to last year, Jessica was engaged. Her big, perfect city boy fiancé, David, was everything Patricia had ever dreamed of for her future CEO daughter. And me? I saw the wedding as one last shot. One final chance to prove I belonged. So, I threw myself into planning Jessica's wedding like my life depended on it. I coordinated vendors, negotiated with caterers, stayed up past midnight making custom decorations. I spent my savings, $2,000, on a vintage sapphire necklace as a gift for Jessica. Every flower arrangement, every seating chart. It was my silent plea for love and approval. But Patricia barely noticed. Michael didn't even look up from his ledgers most of the time. When I showed my mom the catering menu, she sniffed and said, "Jessica would have picked something more elegant." My dad just muttered, "Don't mess this up, Megan. Your sister deserves perfection." Each word cut deeper, but I swallowed my hurt and kept going. The night before the wedding, chaos was everywhere. I'd been running on caffeine and sheer willpower, checking every last detail. When I showed up at my parents' house with the final decorations, my hands were trembling from exhaustion. Then I realized. I'd forgotten one box of centerpieces at my apartment. An honest mistake, right? Not to Patricia. Her eyes narrowed like daggers. "Where's the rest of the decorations, Megan? I just left one box at my place." "I'll go grab it right now," I started. But she cut me off, slamming her hands on the counter. "You forgot? You're always screwing things up. This is Jessica's wedding, not some school project you can half-ass." Michael's voice joined hers, cold and sharp. "We've been patient, Megan. But this is too much. You're embarrassing us again." Jessica stood there in silence. Her fiancé looked uncomfortable, eyes glued to his phone, refusing to get involved. And then, Patricia delivered the final blow. The greatest gift you could give your sister tomorrow is to disappear from our family permanently. Michael didn't hesitate. He nodded. It's time, Megan. You don't belong here. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My vision blurred as if the room was collapsing around me. These were my parents. The people who were supposed to love me unconditionally. Telling me I wasn't part of their family anymore. Something inside me snapped. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just said, "Fine. You'll get your gift." Then I turned, slammed the door behind me, and walked away. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat at my kitchen table, their words echoing in my head. Disappear permanently. And I realized, why not? If they wanted me gone so badly, I'd give them exactly what they asked for. But on my terms. By sunrise, I had a plan. I called a real estate agent and sold my apartment for quick cash, well below market value. I didn't care about the money, only speed. Next, I met with a lawyer named Stephen Reynolds to deal with the shared family accounts. For years, I'd been the one contributing most of the funds for my mom's medical bills and household expenses. Stephen helped me freeze the accounts and set up a trust. The money could still cover legitimate bills. But Patricia and Michael couldn't touch a cent without proof. Then, I resigned from my job with a single phone call. 9 years of loyalty, gone in 10 minutes. Finally, I packed 2 suitcases. Everything else? Donated or sold. I was done carrying the weight of that old life. 3 days later, I drove out of Woodhaven without telling a soul. Not Jessica. Not my parents. No one. I chose a quiet coastal town in South Carolina called Tidewater. The salty air, the marshes, it felt like breathing for the first time. I rented a tiny cottage under my middle name, Elaine Parker, and started fresh. Freelance marketing work. New routines. No more obligations. For weeks, my phone stayed silent in a drawer. But back in Woodhaven, my absence was chaos. Patricia went online, blasting me on local Facebook groups. Our daughter abandoned us and stole our family savings. Michael backed her up, writing, "We trusted Megan and she betrayed us." Jessica sent me a half-hearted email. "You didn't have to abandon us like this." But none of it mattered. The trust records were clear. Every penny was accounted for. Their lies couldn't touch me anymore. Then came Patricia's desperate play. She left me a voicemail, her voice dripping with guilt and manipulation. "Megan, where are you? Your mother's in the hospital. You need to come home." For a second, my heart sank. But something felt off. I called Dr. Evans, Patricia's doctor, directly. The truth? It wasn't a heart attack. Just a panic episode. Not life-threatening. Patricia had staged a medical emergency to drag me back into her control. That was the final nail in the coffin. I sent a single email. The trust will continue to cover all legitimate expenses. Focus on mom's emotional health, that's the real issue. No love. No guilt. Just facts. And then, silence. Weeks passed. Tidewater became my home. I built a freelance business as Elaine Parker. I joined a local book club. I started painting again, something Patricia once mocked as a waste of time. Jessica sent one last message. "I miss you." I didn't reply. Because here's what I've learned. Family isn't the people who share your blood. It's the people who value you, respect you, choose you. And for the first time in my life, I finally chose myself. Patricia and Michael got exactly what they wanted. I disappeared. But not the way they expected. They told the world I'd abandoned them and stolen from them. Meanwhile, every neighbor, every community member slowly saw the truth. Their lies crumbling under the weight of cold, hard proof. They were left humiliated, bitter, trapped in their own web. And me? I was free. The last text I ever received from Patricia simply said, "We're family. Come home." I didn't respond. Because home wasn't where they were. Home was where I finally belonged. With myself. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do isn't to fight for someone to see your worth. It's to walk away and start over. Blood doesn't make a family. Love and respect do. And if you've ever been stuck in a toxic relationship, remember. Your life is yours to claim. You deserve peace. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where justice is finally served.